get the microphone on. Okay. Hello. How are you? Hey, okay, so today what I'm doing is, if you look in the guitar, can you see that? Yeah. See these little triangles, eh? I've just laid them, they're not, these four are glued, these ones aren't. So I am just, actually hang on a sec. Oops. Okay, we're back. Hey, how's it going? Yes, so what I'm doing now is I've glued I've put some glue on the sides, and it's very thin, so it's not a strong bond. But right now I'm gluing in these little things, these little triangles, and they are called peones, or gee, I don't know. Oh, let's get this darker. Actually, let's freeze it in. Got it. Yeah. Also, I've seen pantalones. Anyway, I think peones means, I don't know. Somehow I think it means soldiers. I don't know. Anyway, they're like little things. What happens is people put like a, what do you call it? Like a kind of not a binding, but like a kerfing you put up here. You know, you could do it down here too. Probably on industrial machines they do that. In an industrial, mass-produced instruments. But anyway, these are individual little triangles that you put in that, and this supports the top attached to the sides. Yes, that's what I'm doing. So I might as well just stop talking because I'm just blabbering. I'll show you what's involved. This part of the top here is a little bit radius. It's like around 25 foot, and I've taken the radius sort of to the edge. It's a very shallow angle. Here is around 90% around here. And then here it sort of gets into the, gee, I don't know, maybe the, I don't know, 93%. Anyway, it's not a exact right angle. So I kind of angle the peones a little bit. What's going on here? Okay. Yeah. So this, I'm using high glue to do this. And yeah, I've been looking forward to doing this. This is the kind of work I really like to do. Meditative, quiet. Yep. It's my kind of thing. So I'll just hold that in. The high glue grips very quickly, so it's handy for certain things, But you have to work fast. This kind of job is, I think, is probably perfect because you just kind of put them in there, hold it for a minute or a second, really, and then I'll just grab. Okay. Can you see that? Okay. It's hard to see, but maybe I'll adjust in post. Yep. Yeah, anyway, you get the idea. There's a little bit of slop, of course, here and there, so what I'll do every now and then is take my other little palette knife, spatula thing, and just scrape that glue off. At this stage, the glue isn't hard. It's kind of all like gummy. So, quite easy to remove. It's a little bit like snot. If you like picking your nose, you'd love doing this. Okay. Yeah. Great. Just pull that out. Oops, don't want to do that too much. Anyway, get the idea. I don't want to get the idea of what's in store today, and the next thing I'll do is glue in this tail block thing. The sides are just slightly not the same thickness here, so what I'll do is just match it and glue that down. Then the sides are too high. They're just square, so what I'm going to do is mark what the width of the sides should be, and it kind of goes here, comes up a touch and close near here, and then starts to taper down. So you end up with a slight curve, eh? So there's a curve here, and there's a curve gets built in from that. And of course I'll cut this down and trim it, and these are all glued in. It's looking good. So, hey, coming along. Fun, fun, fun. Oh, this is too hot. Shoot. Darn. Gotta be careful. Don't get too hot on the high glue. Okay, bye. Hello. Microphone's down here. I wish I should put it on. Maybe it'll... Just worried about it getting in the way. Hey, I'm back. Oh, let's darken this down a bit. Okay. Yeah. Can you see okay? I guess it's alright. Yeah. Anyway, just thought I'd check in a bit. I'm on the second half of the instrument now. Sorry, that hum you might be hearing is the dehumidifier. I turned it off earlier, but I really got to keep it going all the time when I have the instrument out like this. You make do with what you got, is what it gets down to. Be nice to have a wood shop or a shop that was, had sections and fully air, what's the word? I want to say air conditioned, but I mean dehumidified, automatic, all that stuff. So it maintains a temperature and humidity all the time. But that's not the situation. I'm not even sure if I'm sure it would be convenient. You know what I mean? Of course. Like when I was at the Banff Center I was doing lots of stuff there, but one of the things I was doing is making shamisen and other instruments. The wonderful Bert, the piano technician, I guess. I guess this is his official title. Anyways, amazing person and very generous, and would let me use his shop. It was great, and also, of course, really great tools and lots of machines. I don't use machines too much, but some of them sure came in handy, I'll tell you. Anyway, but part of my thing here is to work. Oh, how can I put it? It's hard to put it and not sound sort of, what's the word? Funny. I guess part of my vision was to, that the way I set up my shop here was I could work without electricity if things came to that. And of course, if you know me, I'm thinking long term and what's probably coming down the pipe for everyone, all that stuff. Fun, fun, fun. I like thinking about that, pondering it. So anyway, so pretty much I could do everything here with no electricity. I have a bandsaw that I use on occasion, and I have a drill press, which for sure is handy. And I have a belt sander, which I do use on occasion. But that's about it, and it's not a major part of mine. Like, I don't use them every day or anything. I mean, part of it is finances. Really conscious of money is what it comes down to. Do you know what I mean? It's all electricity. It costs money. So I've been more or less living in American dollars, which everyone seems to go by. Generally speaking, if I include all my phone bills and everything together, it's probably about $30 a month. $30 US a week is what it's been at. So things like when I use my electrical machines a lot, that becomes part of my thought process. how much money do I have to pay for the electricity? Anyway, it's all working out, so it all works out okay. The one thing is the humidity, right? And so could I run this without the dehumidifier going? Doing what I'm doing right now and the other instruments, I would say probably not, because can you see my chorus in the background? Got chorus there, and I have a shamisen commission that's pretty much done here as well. Anyway, and I keep books and things here. You know, keep a lot of stuff in this room. I don't usually do woodwork here because I'm trying to keep the dust down because it wrecks the dehumidifier. Yeah. So could I do it? No. Could I do it elsewhere? I think so. You know, like I don't really want to leave the mountains. I mean, part of the issue is I'm in a forest and it's high up in the mountains, and you know, the earth is saturated with water right now, although it's drying out for sure. It takes a long time to dry out. But part of it is that not a lot of sun reaches this place, right? It's so gorgeous. I mean, I'm not complaining or anything. It's really beautiful. I love it so much. I'm about as happy as I've ever been in my life living here. Not that happiness is necessarily the number one goal, I think, in existence, but it sure is nice when it comes along. Yeah, so I would say probably I could live up in the mountains, and if I had a place that got a lot more sun exposure, that would really change things, right? So that might be an option down the road, I suppose. Anyway, I don't want it to sound at all that I'm not happy living here, because I am very lucky to live here, actually. Anyway, but I do think about what would I do if I couldn't get electricity. The other thing is, anyway, what can I say? If you know me, you know me, and you know some of the stuff whatever. Anyway, in the end, you know, a lot of my closest friends are artists and all that, right? So I'm not an anti-art thing or anything. But in the end, I ended up being way more comfortable around my southern Alberta and Saskatchewan rancher friends. Do you know what I mean? Like, I felt, wow, these guys are much more open-minded than your average artist in Canada. It's like, whoa, that just goes against what you might presume. Anyway, whatever. Oh, this is such a pleasurable activity. I really like it. Oh, and I'm also getting really close to closing the box. You know? Probably said this earlier, but put these peones in. Shape this, figure out the side widths and all that. Glue the tail block in. Maybe tomorrow I'll put the back on and glue that, and Jesus, then what? Then it comes out of my solera here, I guess. Yeah, wood. Glue on the bridge. I'm gonna glue on the bridge. Sometimes what they'll do, people will glue the bridge on after the finish. So you leave kind of you can either scrape the finish off, or you can leave kind of a, like mask it out or something, you know. That would work too. That's probably a good way to go. But for me, this first guitar, I'm going to put the bridge on before I finish, so that I can string it up and just get a sense of what it's at, you know. I'm sure, you know, then it'll be easier to take the whole damn thing apart if I have to. Which doesn't sound like a fun time to me. Anyway, if I have to, I will, but I don't think I will have to. Yeah. Oh my god, one last bit on the upper bout to go. And she'll be done. Oh! Might not be able to see this from that angle, but it seems like a little bit not sticky enough. What are we doing in here? Could use a bit more water, maybe. So this hide glue is cool, eh? Like it's the mother of all glues, right? Like everyone used them. Good old Stradivarius, and before and after used this stuff. That's one nice thing. If industrial civilization collapses, I can still make instruments. So I can just boil up some bones and tendons and hides and whatever, and make a nice glue. I can do that for sure. I know how to do that. I've never done it, but I know how to do it. So one thing that's been pretty cool for me making these instruments is that like I've been using watching videos, and I have a couple books for reference and all that, but honestly I use the books occasionally. I thought I would reference them more, but I don't really. A little bit here and there. I mean, I'm also, the books I have are for classical guitar, so I have to kind of in my head adapt somewhat. It's not so much different, but a little bit. Oh, where are we now? Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah. And videos, some great sources for videos out there. Pablo Requena springs immediately to mind. He's probably number one for what I've been watching, and really appreciate his generosity, really. You know what I mean? Like, he teaches guitar making and all that. But there he goes. Just put him on YouTube. Put stuff on YouTube and away you go. I'll bet you he started doing it. I don't know for sure, but I can imagine he started doing that as a reference for his students, you know. So after his course, because it's so hard to absorb all that stuff, you know. I bet you that was his first thought, like, hey, I'll put some videos up, that way my students can have a reminder, you know. And then it becomes this great source, you know. But there's some others too that I like Robert O'Brien's great videos that are often connected with LMI, the company, Luthier Supply Company. He's got some great ones too. Who else? Oh, there's a man in the Netherlands. Shoot, what's his name? Anyway, some great ones too. I mean, everyone works differently too. That's the great thing about watching them. Oh, that's how he does it, or that's how she does it. And that's actually really gratifying. I like to see that, because then it's like, oh, I get it. I got some options here. And if I have an idea, and I've been doing that, I've been thinking, oh, I'm going to do it this way. Makes sense for my working space, how my head's working or whatever. Do that all the time, actually. Or the sequences, I've done a few sequences that were like, oh, maybe I'll do it differently next time. But some of them I've done a little bit different than what some people might have advised. I mean, it's all the same in the end, as long as it works out, right? There's some sequences you could probably do and go, oh shit, I shouldn't have done that, you know, but I haven't run into that problem yet. Oh my god, two more. Oops, I could use a bit of glue up there. There's a little edge sticking out. Okay, got that. There we go. Two more. Okay, what I'm going to do, then that's become a long thing. Anyway, it's mostly a babbling video, I guess. But hope no one gets upset by the other ramblings I was on about. I don't consider it of any importance at all. But what I'm going to do is, after I do this bit, maybe I'll take the phone off the tripod and do a close-up video. Yeah. Done. Okay, how about that, eh? Woohoo. It's like 70 of them or something. Okay, here we go. So this is the, oh, here's a good example of, that's a bit too much glue I put on, so there's a bit of spill out there, right? So I'll take my trusty palette knife and scrape that out. Or sometimes I take a piece of bamboo and make a little scraper with that. That works really well too. Yep. You can see, they're all a little bit different, right? There's nothing really super uniform in it, which is, I love that, right? This is a handmade instrument. Someone could look inside this and go, yep, that's a handmade instrument, all right. This is a really, I use this technique. Oh, see, there's a little space there. It's probably not good, but I guess it'll be fine. First instrument. Anyway, this is from, I got the idea, let's brighten that up a bit. Got the idea from a Pablo Coina video. Normally what they do is put a slot about the width of the, normally, whatever, one way is put a slot the width, I wonder if that's okay. I guess it's okay. Looks like it bulbs out a bit, but I'm not sure. Anyway, maybe that'll be also, well, it's pretty rigid actually. It's pretty amazing. Yeah, so this technique uses like a wedge that then pushes the sides into the thing. Yeah. I see a lot of imperfect things. No, I shouldn't put it on video. Oh well, whatever. It's all learning. Okay, I hope everyone's doing great, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.